What's going on? Time is 8:18 p.m. February 2nd. My name is Alex Christian G. The doctors want to make a video and cover some key points. I know you guys heard all this information before. We got to say it again. Most of you people that are into this in this phone heard everything we were discussing. It's all true, and shameful as it is, we gotta repeat everything again. Okay, this is Doctor talking. We're gonna kind of take over the conversation. First key point we want to bring out. I know you guys already went through every single thing with Ray Estrada, his whole life, his wife, everything, right? His newspaper articles and yada 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 with Santa Barbara, everything. Okay, we're not going to talk too much about it, but we're going to bring up the fact of when Alex G put his phone in the middle of the table. We have his memories. They've gone through his memories so many times, man, so many times, picture by picture, frame by frame. Okay, he put his phone in the middle of the table because he wanted everyone to hear. He didn't know Ray Estrada was going to softly offer him $5 million. He didn't know. He didn't. But he wanted everybody to hear the conversation because he figured by 2018, he definitely had all the FBI listening. Okay? He thought Thomas and Patrick were part of the CIA. He's just young. He didn't know. The U.S. government has their own detail, right? He didn't know. He didn't know. He didn't. Which is fine. Okay? He doesn't know how shit actually works. Now, the point we were bringing up is when he had his phone in the middle of the table. Everybody heard when Ray Estrada offered him the $5 million. Like, Alex, let's just go for $5 million. And he brought that attorney on his laptop. Okay, the guy with glasses, etc., etc. We know exactly who that guy is. I'm sure everybody knows who that guy is. All right? And then Ray Estrada went to take off. He went to go use the bathroom or something. And Alex, he was looking at the laptop and just like, they were trying to push him off from seeing her, obviously. That's exactly the effect they were trying to give him. Pushing him off, trying to buy him out for $5 million. Okay, what Alex G expected, he's young, okay? Or he was young in this field. He thought he was catching the crooks red-handed, okay? So we brought up The Wire, that movie that showed The Wire. Okay, he's wearing a wire, doing a drug deal or, trying to bust some criminals for whatever kind of crime. He's wearing a wire, okay? Well, that was a blatant wire for everyone to hear. Even if his phone was in his pocket, everybody's going to be able to hear. But he did it for that reason, okay? It's like him wearing a wire. And what he expected was never going to happen. But he thought that, hey, I got these guys red hot handed trying to bribe me $5 million to walk away, right? Nobody's going to do anything in this. And there's some people just like this right now, I'm sure. Okay, but nobody was ever going to do anything. All right, these guys were too high up. These guys just didn't have anything to do, and then it became like something like Mary. Okay, something about Mary. All right, we're telling you guys, we're talking through him. All right, it became like something about Mary. You had the pizza guy. And you had that other weird guy. Of course, you had Ben Stiller, which is Alex G. And then you had Brett Favre at the end. Oh, you guys already know what you're trying to do, man. Or just shaking his head right now. This has been painful for 8 damn years, okay? 8 years of this shit. She's ruined and he's ruined. You can't put them together. You know what song comes to our head? And Cinderella. Put them together and what do you got? Bippity boppity. No, there's no bippity boppity boo on this one. There's not. She's screwed up. He's screwed up. And you think you're going to put them together and see what you got? Bippity boppity boo? No, fuck that. You've screwed everybody up. Okay? Oh, this is painful to even discuss. We wish you guys would just remove these guys and take the damn Darkfield body out of here. Okay? Sure, we were going to talk about some other stuff, but you got, this is just disgustingly, it's beating a dead horse that died. I mean, honestly, the horse probably died like 4 years ago, at least. You had covered everything 4 years ago. 4 years ago, there were teams that went over every single detail of this whole thing. That was 4 years ago. Another 4 years after that. Jeez, it's been 8 years total. What are you people doing? This is, there's a lot of other key points that we want to make. Okay, so we talked about like these guys are like the New York Yankees here. All right, and Alex G is like a 5-person minor league baseball team. Okay, like little league team. Okay. And doesn't even have a full roster. All right, working minimum wage with commission at a dead end job at Verizon, unless he becomes a manager or some shit. You didn't want him as manager, even though he could have easily done a manager position at Verizon. We don't want to talk about that. It's not too difficult, but he could have did it. Could have managed the other store. Well, especially once Carson left. I mean, he could have been a manager at the Goleta store. I'm sure he could have had a future, you know, making 40 to 45 grand a year, living in Santa Barbara County, right? Anyway, these guys, it's playing against the New York Yankees. These guys should have never been involved. Now, what we said is, if these guys weren't involved and it was the FBI, who knows what would have happened. We would like to remain optimistic and say, hey, maybe the FBI would have took care of this outright. Or maybe the FBI would have tried to kill him too. Who you know. No, look, we're all here. It's 8 years later and this is still going on. Now, we don't consent for the Darkfield body sucking his ectoplasm because you don't have anything to do. Waking him up in the middle of the night, going through his memories like last night. I'm sure everybody was aware. Okay, I mean, verifiable. You had let's say you had some AI infiltrated in the homeless shelter, verifying that they are going through his subconscious and going through his memories, non-fucking stop when he's asleep. Okay, yeah, I'm sure they did checks. Now, this has been going on like this for 7 years. They started doing this stuff back to him in 2018. Okay, it's like the Yankees are trying to find out why Mary chooses Ben Stiller. All right, we don't want to keep going over the same thing, but this is really, we can't stress enough to you people, this is really a waste of time now. Everybody knows everything, okay? Yeah, yes, he should have been compensated. One of the last things we want to say is a lot of people hate him and they want to kill him, okay? Some people better like hold their, stand down, but you people need to realize you would have never even known who he was if they would have done things correctly and like brought him in. He expected to go back into the field office, FBI of San Diego, call him in, say, hey, Mr. G, we'd like you to come down to the office and like sit down with them, apologize, make a consultation when him and her can see each other, and award compensation to both parties. Okay, that never happens. And it didn't seem like it was ever going to happen. Even if these guys were involved, it's highly unlikely they would have done that. Okay? That's a really, really sad case of a young guy, unknowledgeable about how the system works and the United States works and how the jurisdictions work and how all the United States ground rules covering themselves work. Okay, he was unaware. He's one guy. And he really, really just tried to cover it up and show them off. And then when he didn't accept that, then he just tried to kill them, frame them, bribe them. These people, there's people in the background that hate the situation because the guy actually just tried the whole time. He was broke and still trying. Okay? I don't think any of you people would have done what he's done. He's gone through what he's gone through. I know you don't want to look at it like that. That's fine, but there's a lot of things that have happened that didn't have to happen, but you guys, it's you guys' fault. This is not Alex G's fault. This is you guys' fault. Okay? I'm sure there's other stuff to cover. They just became obsessed with her. She's like the most extreme, rare, red-haired woman in the world ever discovered. That was it. That was pretty much it. I wish these guys would have never found out. That's all it was, man. I mean, jeez. And it was a whole AI system. Once they found her, then they did a check on her. And then that check gets passed to higher ups. And then once those higher ups get it, then other higher ups get it. Then those higher ups pass the information to some other higher ups. Eventually it gets to Thomas and Patrick and George Soros, and they find out who she is and what she wanted and who she wants to be with. And they're like, oh, it's never up to them. That's how guys are, man. Guys, from a girl's perspective, a woman's perspective, guys are fucking assholes. And they will do whatever they can to cheat somebody out what their birthright is. Okay? Her birthright, his birthright. Guys will cheat other guys out of their own fucking birthright. I want you people to think about that. That's it.